It's about that time of year again. So the iPhone 16 is coming out in exactly 6 days. So I'm a little late to the game. But what are my predictions for the iPhone 16? Looks, specs, features. We're going to go through it all and hopefully make this video under 3 hours long. So stay with me. Okay, so I think we should start with some specs. And then we'll move on to features and then we'll go to looks. So let's start. I've heard a few rumors that the iPhone 16 is going to have the A18 chip, and then the 16 Pros are going to have the A18 Pro chip. I don't think Apple's going to go back to their old ways. I mean, so with the iPhone 13s, it used to be that, what chip did the 13s get? I think they got the A15. But they would each get the same A15, except it was a little bit more overclocked and a little bit more powerful for the Pros. That's how it was. And now they moved to giving last year's chip to the base models. I don't really mind it. I'm also not an Apple user, but I feel like people make too big of a deal because they like the power of last year's Pro, and then they're like, oh, but why does this year's base model get that one's Pro? It's like, yeah, but you like that Pro one. So I feel like people are a little bit of hypocrites when it comes to that, but if they are going to change the chip layout kind of thing, I don't think they're going to give them the same chip. They'll probably makeshift one, but I don't think they're going to do that at all. I think this year's are going to get the A17 for the base models and the A18 Pro for the Pro models. Now, if I'm wrong, that's actually going to be real innovation for Apple. Now, if you've been scrolling on Instagram, you've probably seen a good amount of posts saying that the Pros are going to get 4 cameras and the base models are going to get 3 cameras. At least I'm seeing that. Here's why I don't think Apple's going to do that. Because it's not Apple. If Apple sees something good that they can put in their product, they're definitely not going to put it. And if they see that the fans want it, but they could also put this in, just like they did last year, they're going to put what they put last year. But for the base models, the cameras are probably going to look something like this. And for the Pros, I really don't know. These Pros are a little bit odd for me because everybody's talking about the base models are going to get this new scrambled camera. But the EU didn't say that just the base models need to scramble them up. They also said that the Pros need to be scrambled too. So I'm wondering what they're going to do for the Pros. Now, I've seen this, but I've also seen this. That one is quite sad. There's no shot they're going to do that. Because then it's making the Pros into an overclocked, overspec'd version of the base models. And I don't think Apple will do that because then it'll make no sense to buy the Pro when the base model looks like this and the Pro looks like this. The iPhone 11. Now, Apple intelligence-wise, this one's a little interesting because on the chip topic, I also heard that same person say that they're gonna get different AI features than the Pros. And I can see that. If my voice is a little scratchy, I'm sick, which is why I haven't posted in the past couple days, because I literally have not had the strength to pick up my phone. I've been sleeping or watching TV. And that's been making me ache. Plus my voice sounded completely messed up. I'm more back to normal today, so that's why we're filming today. But anyway, the Pros, I think the Pros could get different features with Apple Intelligence. And I think the features may come sooner. Now, this doesn't make sense, even in my mind, but it could happen. Apple could actually give the Pros out of the box AI, but then tell the base models that you gotta wait until November or something like that. They're gonna have to wait for these AI features because we're trying to configure them for your phone. Really, they're just trying to save costs on the phone, which is fine. But I also see these phones getting more expensive. And I'm going to get to pricing. I forgot to list that we're going to talk about pricing. But I'm going to get to that. Design-wise, though, this is where it's going to get fun. So we've established that the Pros I don't know what the Pros are going to look like. We've also established that the base models are probably going to look like this. And you know if something is going to look like something in rumors, if those rumors stick for a while. If that same website or brand or person sticks with the same thing. And I've seen this as a trend for so long, since probably like June. So it's been going on for a while. Can't believe we're in September already. That's crazy. But it has been going on for a while, and I do think they'll go with that. It looks nice, and they want to bring spatial video to the base models. That'd be a good thing. But we've established the cameras. Well, not really, but that's a separate section. What about the action button? Because if you don't know, the 15's got an action button. The Pros got an action button that's a customizable button. Now, for me, I think it would have been better if they just made the mute switch customizable, because that'd be a lot more convenient. You don't have to hold down the button. It'd just be a flick, which everyone is used to. But, you know, it's Apple. So, I've said for a while, and I've been thinking this for a while, I'm able to vent my thoughts and yap it at a camera, which is why you're here. But I think Apple might send it with the action button on the base models. Now, it's gonna make the Pro models a lot harder to sell, so they're gonna have to do something crazy for the Pros, but I can see the action button going to the base models, because normally it goes to the Pros, then they see it be successful on the Pros, and then they put it to the base models the next year, which basically makes people wait and anticipate. And I guess that's a marketing strategy. So, yeah. I am wanting the action button on the base models. But, now let's get to pricing. Okay, so, pricing. I think pricing is going to be different this year. And I've seen a couple posts about that. So, I've seen that the Pro could go from... Well, it doesn't go anywhere. The Pro Max will stay the same. But the Pro is going to go from $999 to $1,099. And then the base models are going to go from $699 to $799. And then $899 to $999. I can see it. It's Apple. I can see them doing that. Dang, phones are getting very expensive. I mean, that's going to be like $1,000 base phone. But the thing that I'm seeing here, I'm seeing a trend with Apple. They try something on the Pro Max, then it goes to the Pros, and then it goes to the base models. And I've been seeing that trend with Apple for a while, even before I was into tech. I can see them doing that with these phones. I can see them going up in pricing. But I think we need to talk about features. As we know, this event is going to be very Apple intelligence based. Should they name an entire event basically after Siri? No. Because Siri can't be your main event. You're launching phones. And they're making Siri the face of the event. That doesn't make sense. That's not good marketing, Apple. But what will they be launching? That's my question. What are they going to launch? So we know that the iPhones are coming out. I talked about the Apple Watch coming out. But what are they going to do? So, I feel like they're going to do nothing for the Apple Watch. They might give the series. That's really poor naming. But they might give the S10 a flat screen. Might move to that to give it even borders. I'm pretty sure it already has even borders. Does it not? They might do it to trim down the borders a lot. And I would like to see them add an action button to it. But then what would the Ultra have? So it's the Ultra 3, obviously. It's the 3rd gen. There's nothing really that special. It's all about the 10s for me. It's all about the Series 10s because it's the 10th gen. You gotta do something cool. Knowing Apple, they probably won't, like I said on my short. I'll link that below the video for you to go watch. But I can see them doing something for these. Maybe adding a larger battery, because I'm pretty sure it's been the same thing for the past couple of years. Maybe adding a brighter screen. I don't know how they would do that, because it's already a pretty blinding screen. Maybe making the pixel density better. I don't know what they're gonna do, but they have to do something. Like, every company, if it's like their 10th gen, they do something crazy. Look at car companies. When it was their, like, 100th year anniversary, they make a 100th year anniversary car. But phones don't really... Well, we haven't really had any phones for 100 years, but I'm sure when there is a 100-year anniversary for phones, we're gonna see something special. But I think Apple will do something. I just don't know what. I can't see what they could do for a smartwatch, honestly, other than increase the price. I also love that innovation video by Sam Time. That was funny, and I can see Apple doing that. I don't know, what could they do for a watch? So, we've discussed products a little bit. Mostly the watch, but apparently we could get AirPods at the event. This is the problem with Apple. They're very secretive, and it brings anticipation for the event, which is good, but then people like me can't make it for content. I think the new AirPods are just gonna be AirPods 2 with AirPods 3 slapped on it as a sticker. Innovation. I kind of think that's what Apple's gonna do. I feel like there's really nothing you can do for earbuds, unless you're like Samsung, who went from this to this, unless that's what you're up to. But I mean, that's Samsung. They had a different design and they could redesign, but Apple, I don't see them redesigning. Like, their only redesign option really is to go to the bean, but I don't see Apple doing that. It's too classic for them to look like this. They're probably gonna add new features, probably gonna add a different kind of wireless charging. Speaking of wireless charging, we're going to get to that in a sec. We're also going to talk about some cons that I think are going to come with the iPhones. But, yeah, I don't see what they can do for the new AirPods other than increase the price and tell their fans to buy it. So, with the iPhone 16, I watch a lot of repair guys. That's how I've learned a lot of the knowledge that I have about technology, and that's how I gained it in like 3 years. Yeah, 3 years of research. I need a life, man. But I'm a little bit shook about what the phone repair guru said. So this is a Canadian-based YouTube channel. I'm sure you've seen him. Please don't copyright me. I am not saying anything bad about your channel. He said that the iPhone 16s may have thinner MagSafe magnets, which could make all our MagSafe accessories not work with the Pros. And that scares me because it's scary how true that can be. With Apple, they love to make their phones slightly bigger so your case doesn't fit, or slightly wider, or slightly this, slightly that, to make sure your case doesn't fit. I mean, this is the first year I can remember that the 14 case fits on the new phone case. That's innovation in itself. But I can see Apple's MagSafe accessories not working anymore. But I have something that could actually counter that. So, if Apple stays with the same screen size, which they probably will because it's Apple, they don't really like innovating until they see others do it, beta test it, and then they Applify it. That's a good word, Applify. And then they do it their way. So I think they were going to stay with the same screen size and body size and all that. So I think your 15 case will fit on the 16. And if your 15 case has MagSafe, then your accessories that worked with your 15 case essentially should work on your 16. And if that is the case, that would be great, and that would mean that we don't have to really worry about this problem. But it's just sad that Apple's doing it like this. And there's so many people that don't put a case on, me included. I don't really like cases, you know? Some cases are just too bulky, but if you want to see a full video about that, say if this video gets 100 likes, then I will make a full video about why I don't like cases and screen protectors, if that's what you want to see. But I don't know. I feel like that's all we can really expect from Apple. This is going to be a very short video, but well, that is what I think the iPhone 16 is going to bring and going to lose. That's the end of the video. Please subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1 million by the end of the year. Doesn't seem possible right now, but please subscribe to help me out.